Welcome, everyone. Today's July 9th. This is a special meeting of the Lane Transit District Board of Directors. We have one item for action tonight, but I'll start with roll call. Susan Cox,
Here.
Pete Knox,
Here.
Kelly Sutherland,
Here.
Lawrence Green,
Here.
Michelle Weber, and Heather Murphy. Any adjustments to the agenda? Hearing none? Jameson, any comments from the CEO?
Just three items of note for next week. On the 17th, we'll be participating with the Joint Transportation Commission visit. That'll be touring around Eugene, Springfield. They'll have a roundhouse session down at Lane Community Center or Lane, what's the?
LCC?
The fairgrounds. So we'll have that there. So just wanted to make you aware of that. I'll send something by email with the schedule once we receive their final schedule. And then next Friday, the 19th, we have an event here called Coffee and Conversation, which is an internal gathering here. Congresswoman Hoyle is going to join us. We tried to get a community leader to come in quarterly, and she's agreed to come in for that. So you're all invited to that as well. We'll send information on the time for that. And then finally, on the 21st, Sunday, is our organization cookout. So that will be held up in Junction City, and we'll make sure that you have an email in your inbox in the next few days with those 3 bullet points to remind you. So I just wanted to make you aware of those items.
Great. Thank you, Jameson. Do we have anybody online for public comment?
No.
Okay, thank you. There's no consent agenda. There's no business updates, discussions, and presentations. We'll get to our one item, adoption of a contract for Lane Transit District Amalgamated Transit Union, division number 757. That's our public safety officers, effective July 1 through June 30th, 2028. I'm not sure who's presenting this item.
Jake.
Go ahead, Jake.
All right, good evening, board members. My name is Jake McCallum. I'm the Director of Transit Operations and Public Safety. Our goal here today is to provide you the information needed to proceed with a vote regarding the Public Safety Collective Bargaining Agreement that expired on June 30th of 2024. In today's meeting, I'll give you a brief history of the department, cover the financial parts of the agreement, and lastly, a few significant work rule changes. We'll cover those as well. And please feel free to stop me at any time during this if you have questions, if I'm covering something and you need clarification on any of the topics that we're covering. So let's talk about a little bit about the history. Public safety was contracted through different agencies until it was brought in-house in December of 2016. The Public Safety Department went through the process of becoming a union, and their first collective bargaining agreement was a 4-year agreement starting June of 2021, and again, it's expiring June 30th of 2024 this year. The district and the Amalgamated Transit Unit entered into negotiations April of this year. Subsequently, we were able to reach a new 4-year agreement on June 24th. The public safety officers then voted and ratified the contract unanimously on the following Friday, June 28th. This then moves us forward to our board, or this then moves everything forward to the board for a vote and ratification, which brings us here today for this special meeting. Any questions on the brief history? I know it's not a lot, but just kind of covers where we were and where we're at today. So this will be their second contract, their first renewal of their public safety contract. So with that, I'm happy to see Pam here. I'm going to get into the financials. Pam, if I'm wrong on any numbers, please start yelling at me and make me stop. But I looked at stuff the best that I could. And so let's get through that. So again, this 4-year agreement that addresses some of the significant wage issues and aligns us with our comparable partners, both externally and some internally as well, you'll notice a significant increase in year one. This can be contributed to several factors. We use some outside agencies as comparable, as well as a look at that internal pay equity. I'm happy to talk more about the comparable agencies if anybody has any questions as we go through the financial. So basically what we're looking at the first year is a sizable increase. Year one is a 25% increase that brings our current starting wage from $19.13 to $23.91 an hour. Year two, you're looking at 2025 is a 5% increase. Year 26 is a 4% increase. And the final year of the contract, year 27, is a 3% increase. Effective, another part of this is we did agree to, effective with the first payroll after ratification, the district may assign employees as lead workers. Lead workers will receive 5% above their wages. And this is pretty consistent with the other agreements that we currently have at the district. It's nothing new. We typically pay our leads the 5% above. It does not obligate the district to do that, and we're currently not doing that. What I like about it is it does give us a path forward in regards to retention and recruitment and succession planning for the department. Next, let's see, we added 2 holidays. So we added Juneteenth and we added 1 floating holiday. The public safety officers currently have 2 floating holidays. Juneteenth is now, I believe, consistent throughout the district. And the floating holiday add brings their total to 3 floating holidays, which again is also pretty consistent with bus operators and their collective bargaining agreement again. Shoe allowance increased from 85 to 200. You know, these individuals are out walking around, and that's what we want them to do. So and we have shoe allowances in all our other agreements as well. So it's pretty consistent again with the other agreements. That's about it on financials. It's pretty significant. So I'm going to stop there and just make sure that we don't have any questions on the financial parts, or Pam, if I misspoke on anything.
No, that was correct, Jake. For everything that you went over, I would just add that what we budgeted was at 20%, because of course we had to finish the budget before we were completely done with negotiations. But that additional 5% is really not that much, and that's not going to be an issue for us. In our budget, it added about $41,000 over what we had budgeted. So that's a pretty minor amount. And that was, it landed us where we were able to finish the negotiations before June 30th, which everybody wanted to do that. And so it was a good compromise.
Yeah, pretty significant. Pam, you stole my thunder, but I was pretty excited to get this thing done as quickly as we did. That's not a normal practice here at the district. Normally we're well past the expiration of the contract. So I applaud the district side and the union side of being able to get this done fairly quickly. So not a lot of work rule changes really to go over. A few to note, you know, we really didn't have an hour of work rule. So in the main contract, we have a 9.5 rule, which basically for a bus operator doesn't allow us to schedule anybody past a 9.5 return. They need to be off 9.5 hours between their work shifts. Public safety, they just wanted something in there. We agreed to an 8.5 hour rule. And basically it's written a little bit different. It just basically means we won't schedule anybody with less than 8.5 hours in between their shifts. However, we also recognize, we deal with some emergency management type situations, and we may on occasion have to do that. It just won't be an everyday consistent schedule. And we all pretty much agree that we work well together in those situations, but they wanted something in there, so we got it in there. And then the other thing, it's not necessarily applicable in the CBA because I kept it out of the CBA. However, we did agree, I just wanted to bring it up to the board because it's a good thing. We did agree to work on a committee that would work on kind of mental health. It's a subcommittee to address officer safety and mental health related to significant events and situations that may occur, but it's not limited to just physical interactions. These folks are dealing with dynamic situations, and I think the board's heard me talk about that before, and/or our CEO, Jameson. And we just want to make sure that we have something. There's some language in the main contract that kind of addresses this for the bus operators, and we want something similar that just our folks know that, hey, you need a couple days because you went through a significant event. We're going to make sure that that happens, and we have the resources and the support from HR to make sure we get that. That concludes my presentation. Pretty short and sweet. Any questions for any of board members?
Thank you, Jake. Just a note that Michelle has joined us online. Welcome, Michelle. Any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll move ahead. I think we're ready for a motion. It's in the agenda pack that was emailed out later this afternoon. If I read it, can somebody else just say they make that motion? I think we'll do that. I move to adopt resolution number 2024-0709-020, contract for Lane Transit District, Amalgamated Transit Union, Division number 757, Public Safety Officers, effective July 1, 2024, June 30th to June 30th, 2028, as presented. So if somebody could just say they make that motion, I think that would suffice.
Make it.
Susan makes, I hear a second. Kelly makes a second. We'll do a roll call. Susan Cox,
Yes.
Pete Knox,
Aye.
Kelly Sutherland,
Yes.
Lawrence Green. Yes. Michelle Weber. Yes. Thumbs up. I also vote yes, so that's unanimous. Congratulations to all involved, and it is nice to have a contract done so soon to the expiration date. So good work. Any other business for tonight?
No, just a thank you and nicely done.
Okay. Everyone stay cool, and hopefully this weather changes in the future here. So thank you for a short meeting, and have a great evening.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.